Welcome. If you open a Linux terminal and type change directory / you enter the root directory. Unlike Windows, which uses drive letters like C or D, everything in Linux stems from a single root folder represented by a /. Every disk, folder, system binary, and hardware device lives somewhere inside this single tree structure. Let's peel back the layers and see what each major folder actually does. First up are the binary directories /bin, /sbin, and /usr/bin. /bin contains essential system binaries and commands that all users need, like ls, cd, cp, and cat. /sbin holds system binaries intended for administrators, like fdisk, iptables, and reboot. /usr/bin contains user-installed programs and utilities that aren't strictly required for minimal system booting. On modern Linux distributions, /bin and /sbin are often symbolic links pointing directly into /usr/bin. Next is /etc., short for Editable Text Configurations or etc. This folder is the central command center for system settings. You won't find executable programs here. Instead, you'll find plain text configuration files that control how programs and network services behave. For example, your user account configuration lives in /etc/paswd, network hosts in /etc/hosts, and service configurations inside /etc/systemd. If you need to tweak how a service operates, /etc is where you go. Now let's talk about dynamic files, /var and /temp. /var stands for variable data. It holds files whose contents change constantly during system operation. This includes system log files in /var/log, databases, mail queues, and web server files in /var/www. /temp is the temporary directory. Applications use this space to store temporary scratch files. Most Linux distributions automatically clear out everything in /temp whenever the system reboots. Next up are user spaces, /home and /root. /home contains personal folders for ordinary users on the system. If your username is Alex, your personal files, documents, and user configurations live inside /home/Alex. /root, spelled out ROOT, is the dedicated home directory specifically for the root superuser account. It is kept separate from /home to ensure the administrator can still log in even if the /home partition fails to mount. These next three directories are special because they don't store actual files on your storage drive: /dev, /proc, and /sys. /dev contains device files that represent hardware attached to your computer, such as hard drives under /dev/sda or terminal devices under /dev/tty. /proc and /sys are virtual file systems generated on the fly by the Linux kernel. /proc provides real-time process and system information, while /sys exposes hardware and driver kernel parameters. To wrap things up, let's look at the remaining system folders: /boot, /media, /mnt, and /opt. /boot contains the Linux kernel and bootloader files needed to start your computer. /media and /mnt are mounting points. /media automatically mounts removable media like USB drives, while /mnt is traditionally used for manually mounted file systems. Finally, /opt is for optional third-party software packages installed outside the distribution's standard package manager. Understanding the Linux directory tree makes navigating any Linux distribution simple and intuitive. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, hit that like button, subscribe for more Linux tutorials, and leave a comment telling me which Linux distro you use. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!